Rocky Mountain Bighorn sheep present a spectacular, epic hunting adventure unlike any other. The species, native to Colorado, range across the Rocky Mountains from Canada down to the southwestern United States. Colorado boasts the largest population of the species in all of North America. But even with that large population, a tag is darn hard to come by in the draw. On this episode, Randy Newberg tags along with hunting buddy Courtney Olson, who applied for 9 years until he finally succeeded. It's a high-altitude hunting adventure on their own, without a guide, but with a lot at stake. Courtney may only draw one other, if any, Colorado sheep tag in his lifetime.
Anyone who's looking for a Western big game hunt that is what I'll call the classic Jack O'Connor type hunt, I don't know where you're gonna find anything more classic than Colorado Bighorn sheep. We're talking about the Rocky Mountains, the Rocky Mountain Bighorn, classic high alpine country. It encapsulates everything about a compelling Western big game hunt.
I've known Randy for about 9 months now. I found out about his show and his website. The concept just struck me as perfect. Self-guided, publicly accessible lands. It just made perfect sense to me.
It was in May when Courtney called me and said, "Randy, you aren't going to believe this, but I drew a Colorado Bighorn sheep tag. If you are serious of inviting me along, I am there."
Because I don't really know, other than I'm about ready to ruin a $40,000 pickup. When Courtney says, "Oh, just wait till it starts getting rough," I start getting a little bit concerned because it's already been plenty rough.
Courtney had warned me that the road to get up to this camp he is talking about was very difficult.
Oh, great, look at this stretch.
This Jeep road is about 4 miles long. It goes up to the top of Democrat Mountain.
All right, we're in low gear now.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
That road was one of the worst roads I've ever been on in my life. And I had to do that 4 times. Twice up, shuttling camp up, twice down, shuttling camp back down.
Well, we're not gonna have much weight going down. We'll bounce all over the place.
Drawing any bighorn sheep tag is very difficult. Here in Colorado, it's almost impossible for non-residents, and Courtney being a resident, he told me it took 9 years for him to finally draw this tag, and even at 9 years, he thought he was pretty fortunate.
It's a tough tag to draw. There were almost 1,000 applicants for rams, so my odds were a little less than 1%.
Colorado, like a lot of Western states, has these lottery-type processes for drawing these big game tags.
Whether any hunter is successful or not, you cannot apply for another 5 years. Realistically, I would not probably draw another tag for at least 15 years, more likely 20 to 25 years.
Every year you're applying, hoping that you're building your way higher to the top of the pile, and sooner or later they're going to pull your number.
Oh, we got some, all right, so there's some Caesar.
We go to the grocery store every time. We're all energetic. We buy more groceries than you could ever imagine you could eat in a month at camp. When you come out on one of these on-your-own hunts, especially if you're way back there and the conditions are difficult, be prepared to eat rather sparsely. The reality is, when you come off the mountain, you are so tired, the last thing you want to do is cook and have to clean up. But you got to be able to handle that as part of your hunting and camping technique, because this isn't going to be the big, elaborate 3 hot meals a day kind of hunt.
So how many times are we gonna hike this route in 5 days of hunting, Court?
I'm hoping we only have 1 day and we have to do it 1 time over and 1 time back.
One of the things that was so important to this hunt was understanding where the sheep would be, where the private land is, where the public land is, because all the sheep in the world can be there. If it's private land, you're probably not going to go hunt.
So, big sheep, here we come.
Yeah, here we go.
We had to figure out where are the sheep on public land. And without maps and knowing how to read maps, you aren't going to figure that out. And your hunt is really going to suffer because of it.
They don't know what we know.
What do we know?
I was hoping you were going to tell me. This unit that I'm hunting in, we are less than an hour from Denver. These animals get pushed around by not only sheep hunters, but various other human beings as well.
This is the town of Silver Plume down here.
Colorado is kind of unique in that the human interface has come right up to the Rocky Mountain front.
That's Interstate 70 that goes from Kansas City and beyond.
And it's kind of unique to see that wildlife has found a way to survive and to prosper in amongst this human encroachment that they're facing.
We hoof it up here for an hour and a half, and there's 3 other guys setting up camp right there. Now what do we do?
Did you expect anything less?
No, I warned you.
Randy and I have been looking around, haven't seen anything yet except 3 other hunters. The game plan for tomorrow will be to try and use those hunters to our advantage. So I think we'll try and work a little bit different area and see if maybe they push some sheep to us. It's public land up here and open to everybody, so it's just one of the things that we have to deal with.
It is about half hour before sunrise. The wind's blowing, and there's about 20 vehicles that already drove by this morning.
Before we headed up the hill, we looked at the long-term weather forecast and it said, you know, by day 2 and 3, it's gonna get pretty nasty.
There's that basin right over there. Yeah, I think it splits into 2.
If you're gonna come and do a hunt like this, you better have good equipment. And I'm talking about good vehicle. You better have good shelter. You better have a good rifle. You better have good optics. And most of all, you better have a layered system of clothing that can help you not just from moisture, not just keep you warm, but also the wind.
We need to get over this ridge and out of the wind.
Yeah, let's go. And if you don't have those kind of things, you're gonna be very uncomfortable and you're not gonna be able to hunt the way you should.
You want to go here? You want me out there? Sure. We've got another hunter over here about a half mile away. He's on this ridge, he's skylined, and I'm sitting here about a half mile away across this basin, and the wind is just howling in my face.
I know a lot of guys are probably cussing this wind, but one good thing about wind is you know it isolates the animals where they're gonna be. They're not gonna be out in the wide open.
Bighorn sheep hunting in Colorado, where you got 14,000-foot peaks, is physically demanding.
Bring your mucklucks. I looked over the ridge.
Big stuff coming.
Ski season might be opening early here in Colorado.
It's a blizzard. It's an absolute blizzard out here.
I can't believe I'm here doing this. Crazy. Asking for trouble is what I'm asking for. Oh well. We're gonna get a sheep.
We sat in this one overlook all day long, knowing that there were a lot of sheep down below because we'd seen their sign.
I think we might be SOL if it's serious snow and no visibility.
And just as we get up to go, I go over to Courtney and I say, well, I think we've had enough. And I look.
The rams are right there.
And right behind him, about 80 yards, are 5 rams coming out of the timber.
They're standing there. Come around the corner. They're right there. Yeah. Let's go, though. They might be standing there looking.
I'm like, oh my goodness, what terrible luck.
They were right there, 75 yards. They were right on the other side of the trees. They're crazy.
But as I think about that, that's just hunting.
Yeah. 15 minutes before sunset, that's when they show up. Should expect that.
That's how it happens in hunting. When you are least prepared is when the opportunity is going to be there.
Felt like they were hunting us. They were coming so close to us.
The part I wasn't probably prepared for was the mental challenge that this type of a hunt has.
The good news is the weather has chased out the 5 other hunters we saw. We are the only people dumb enough to still be up here.
It's a mental challenge from the standpoint of how much it drains you physically, the logistics of getting a camp way up in the mountains, the weather, the wind being what it is, and the sheep being somewhat nomadic. Those kind of things make a sheep hunt extremely difficult. As with a lot of western big game hunts, you have to be prepared for every type of weather condition. And I think this hunt is a pretty good example of that.
We're almost there yet, Dad?
We went and set up our camp 2 days before. It was beautiful. It was 78 degrees up at 11,000 feet. I'm thinking, wow, this is gonna be a unique experience to be at a high alpine environment and have this great of weather.
You see, there's a knob right above them there where that one's in the opening. I'm wondering if you guys can stay along the edge of the timber and get to that.
A blizzard had blown in, just severe winds, blowing snow.
I think you gotta go after it, Gord.
Yeah,
I'll just stay here.
we'll just keep looking back. I think those are the 5 that we saw just over this ridge.
I think they're the same group we saw last night.
But that's just part of hunting, and it's probably even more of a part of hunting in the West, where in the mountains you have dramatic and very drastic changes in weather conditions very quickly.
Randy's back over there. Across this basin. We're about halfway across. Randy's giving me hand signals to try and guide me in. The sheep have been kept moving and moving to the left and around this basin. We hope they don't cross the other ridge.
He knows the sheep are out in front of him somewhere. He's not sure where they've moved to. And he's kind of counting on me for directions of here or there. So he's probably over there cussing a blue streak saying, "Where's Randy?" But I know he can't see me, so.
When you come to a place like this, you better be prepared that you might have to spend the night because you could get lost. The first thing you want to do is make sure you don't get lost, so have a good GPS or learn how to read a compass or really understand the terrain. If you do get lost, make sure you have what you need to survive. You can start a fire under any conditions with these little fire starter kits that you can get at Army Navy. Make sure you have something, a lighter, waterproof matches, something else, and a few other basic necessities. If you have those, your mental comfort of being out there in extreme conditions is going to be way better, and you're going to have a far more enjoyable hunt.
The storm rolled in and it was just intense. Just a blizzard whiteout condition. And I thought I was on Mount Everest up there. Getting to them, walking across these rocks on these really steep slopes, it's treacherous.
He's probably so frustrated right now trying to see me, and the sheep are even further away. I can't see them. I'm just praying for a break in the snow, so. One of the things that also worried us is if there was that much snow up high, are those sheep gonna stay up that high when they could just drop down 2,000 feet of elevation and have hardly any snow? So that was another thing that we thought maybe it might be better off to get out of here.
When I drew this tag months ago, I didn't expect that we'd be in these kinds of conditions, but you know, we were pretty much prepared for it. We never saw them, we never smelled them, we never heard them. They vanished.
We could wait until the next heat wave, which could be next summer.
We're already in 5-6 inches of snow. It's blowing, it's white out, and the weather forecast says 12 to 20 inches up that high. I'm gonna go break down camp. I'm gonna haul the first load down while you stay up and hunt today. And then I'm gonna be back up here to get you.
Okay.
We'll break down the last half of camp and get out of here. And we'll just have to hunt from lower elevation because 12 to 24 inches of snow, we're not getting out of here. We came, we broke down camp, and we came down the mountain to the lower elevation where the weather would be a little better and the visibility would hopefully be a little better.
Our camp is up at 11.5, so you can imagine how much snow you'd get at 11.5 if they could get up to a foot at 6,000.
When we got pushed off the mountain because of that blizzard, I made a phone call to a friend of mine, and he offered his cabin for us to stay in, and that really helped us out.
And I'll be out in a minute.
It was very stressful. All right, let's get out of here. Weren't quite sure exactly where we were going to hunt. I had some ideas about.
If we get visibility that we will see sheep, I just don't know about the clouds. That's the challenge, as well as Randy's driving here.
To be honest, I have no idea where we're going other than Courtney says there's some road that goes way back up in the boondocks.
And explained to Randy, showed him on the map where we were going to go. We went and looked at a few areas. Nothing panned out.
And when we went out and we started doing our scouting up these old roads and stuff, the cloud cover was right down in the valleys. You could not see hardly anything. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh my goodness, we are not gonna find a sheep. But even if the sheep was right there, how would we see him?
I see a ram right there.
Where?
He's right up the hill, he's moving to the right.
So I get out, walk over to where he's looking, and there are 6 rams bedded on a ledge way up there.
Oh, I see them.
Yeah,
I can
bedded.
barely make them out in the snow up there. They're bedded on a ledge up there. We're gonna have to go up this chute and go across.
When we saw those rams, we're like, what are we gonna do now? And the plan was made that I would stay down kind of low and across the valley.
If you go up there, when you get to the same elevation as them, I'll let you know. And when I start giving you the go,
Courtney would take one of the camera guys and he would go way up this chute. And from down at the valley, I could be able to give them hand signals.
it was one of those on your own adventures type 2-minute drill, 4th quarter type situations.
Somebody's looking down on us to give us an opportunity like this on a day like this where the weather's so bad. We're green to the country, we've not scouted, and lo and behold, there are some rams for us to go after.
We spotted the sheep. We knew we probably didn't have long to make a plan to get up to them before they got up and ended up moving.
Courtney and the camera guy go up the other side. The idea was when they got to the elevation of the rams, I would give them this signal that says, hey, now go west. And now the blizzard hit so bad, I lose sight of Courtney and the camera guy.
I moved in on the sheep and was above them. Little did I know that the sheep were moving towards me at the same time I was moving towards them. I happened to stop and just caught movement down below me. There I saw one sheep, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all nice rams.
I have no shot right now. I have to get down a little bit. These trees are very tight.
When I saw the sheep, they were down below me. My shooting lanes were very narrow. Up here, winds can just swirl and change. They could have caught my scent and they would have been gone.
And I'm glassing and I'm looking at the rams. In the snow, I can make them out, and then I can't make them out.
When he comes through those trees, I'm gonna take him 45 yards.
The one sheep that was moving through that area, I knew that when he moved through that shooting lane, I was gonna have to pull the trigger.
Right there.
Here, boom, whack.
Right after the recoil, I looked up and he was tumbling down the hill. I knew it was over. He's done.
I see Courtney and the camera guy walking around looking at all the tracks in the snow. I can tell they're looking for blood, hair, something. Finally, I see them drop down and they're taking the path that ram had taken.
There he is. He's down. When I walked up to that ram, it was so surreal. I was so excited, but it was such an overwhelming sense of relief that I'd gotten this ram after all of this hard work. I was so excited.
I see them walk into this patch of timber and I hear this loud, woo! And even across the canyon in that wind, I can hear Courtney yelling. And
This was probably one of the most intense hunts I've had.
And we'd made the plan that if they got a ram, I would drop down and go across, go up the chute and over to where they were.
Yeah. Oh, after all this work.
After all this.
We were so sure that this blizzard had ruined our chance.
If there's a hunt that we've done that encapsulates the entire On Your Own experience, it would be this one. This is classic of why I love to come and hunt on my own.
Congratulations.
Look at that dude.
We worked so hard. We had so many close calls. The weather was against us. Everything seemed to be just pushing us away from success.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Congratulations,
Thank you
Court.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ram. Thank you so much.
All of a sudden, the one plan we put together that we think, oh, isn't going to be that great, boom, that's when it happens. And that's why you hunt on your own, because you never know when success is going to come your way.
Hunting on your own brings with it satisfaction and fulfillment like nothing else. It's one hunter against all the odds, trying to find success for a once-in-a-lifetime hunting opportunity. So whether you get the big trophy, a small one, or none at all, on-your-own hunting becomes the trophy itself. And the very best part of any on-your-own adventure is that it's completely accessible and completely achievable by you, the real American hunter.